welcome to the channel IT Simplified. In today's video on NetBackup and Azure, we'll deploy NetBackup version 9.0 from Azure Marketplace. So let's get started. I'm already logged into the Azure portal, and I'm going to search for the Veritas NetBackup template from the Marketplace. And this is the latest version 9.0. So let's go and click on Create. And pick your subscription, deploy this in the resource group, which I already have with the name NetBackup RG. And I'm going to use my location, Canada Central, which is closest to me. And the installation type, I'm going to use master server. You can either use master or media server, but in this case, I'll be acting as a master server. And I'll provide the host name. Then you need to provide the license key, which I'm going to provide in a moment. And now, after 8.1.2 version, you also need to upload registration key, which is in the JSON file format. So if you can go to the Net Insight console portal, which I'm already logged in with my credential, you can go under the registration key and download this aggregate key, which will be with the JSON format, and upload that. So what I've done is I've already downloaded that file, and I'm going to just provide the path for that. So that has been also uploaded successfully. And I'm just going to pause the video to provide the license key. All right, so with basic configuration done, we're going to move to operating system and security, for which I need to provide the credential of the person who will have access to this machine. You can either provide a password or SSH public key. In my case, I'm going to use the password. And with that also in place, let's go to next, which is NetBackup server resource and settings. And it will create a storage account for diagnostic log. So it is automatically created. If you want to create new, you can always do that and provide appropriate name. But in this case, I'm going to take the default, and you can also change the size for the server. So in this case, again, I'm going to take the default for my server size and also my virtual network. It will also assign a public IP automatically for you. And you need to provide a domain name label, and it has to be unique. So let me provide that. Okay, with all those settings done, I'm just going to review and create. And click on the create button. Now this process will take some time, so I'm just going to pause the video, and once this configuration is done, I'll be back. Welcome back, and as you can see that the deployment is completed and successful. And I will say it just took under 12 minutes for this deployment to take place. So let's go inside the resource group and see what we got here. I'm just going to expand this so that you can see the resources. So obviously a storage account is created for boot diagnostic log. We got a public IP, our virtual network. We also got one disk, and virtual machine name, the network interface associated, and the network security group. So that's great. So let's go to the virtual machine. It's NBU ITS, and just want to check what kind of disk we got here. So it's only one disk that has been deployed, which is standard SSD with 128 gig. Obviously, if you want, you can attach multiple disks by going to the attach new disk. You can also expand the size of the disk. So all those capabilities are there. If I go under the settings and go to the networking, let's look also the network security group. So by default, it will open certain ports. You can see that port 443 is also open. So if you want to access NetBackup via the web UI, so it needs port 443. So that has been already opened along with some other ports. What I'm going to do is, because I'm going to SSH into the machine, and this is using Red Hat operating system, it's Linux based. So I need port 22 to be open. So for that, I can go add inbound port rule. From basic, I can go to advanced, and under the service, I can pick SSH. So that's port range 22, and click on add. All right, so security rule was created successfully, and you can see the port 22 has been opened. So let's go and now try to connect to this machine. For that, I'm going to grab the public IP, and I'll use PuTTY to access this. Let's go and try to open. Say yes. And actually, let me try to. I hope you can see this. I was thinking that if I can go and expand the font size right here, I think this is better, right? So let me provide the credential here. All right, so it seems to be working, and I'm just going to change myself to the root user. All right, and let's just type in the host name. That's NBUITS, and just to prove that I'm working, I'm using version 9 for this net backup. Let me type the command. And here you can see that it is running NetBackup version 9, the latest version that was released a couple of days ago, and it is on Red Hat Linux, and everything is working fine. And now you can do further configuration and use NetBackup 9.2, all deployed on Azure infrastructure. Hope you found this video useful. Thanks for watching. Have a good day.